In the dense, unforgiving jungles of northern Sri Lanka, a formidable rebel force once held its ground, defying a powerful nation's army. The Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTTE, known as the Tamil Tigers, had waged a relentless war for independence for over 3 decades. Their aim was to carve out an independent Tamil state in the north and east of Sri Lanka. For years, they seemed invincible. However, in a dramatic turn of events in 2009, their seemingly unbreakable grip was shattered. This is the suspenseful tale of the Tamil Tigers' fall, a story of tactical genius, desperate survival, and the ultimate price of war. The rise to power. The Tamil Tigers were born out of frustration and oppression. Founded in 1976 by Velupillai Prabhakaran, the LTTE grew from a small group of militants to a sophisticated insurgency with its own navy, air force, and a feared cadre of suicide bombers known as the Black Tigers. Their attacks were brutal, their resolve unyielding. They established a de facto state within Sri Lanka, complete with their own administration and judiciary, controlling vast swathes of territory. For many Tamil people, the LTTE was a symbol of resistance against systemic discrimination and violence perpetrated by the Sinhalese majority government. The early years of conflict. The Civil War officially began in 1983 following a deadly ambush by the LTTE that killed 13 Sri Lankan soldiers. The government's retaliation led to anti-Tamil riots, resulting in widespread violence and pushing the country into a full-scale civil war. The Tigers quickly gained a reputation for their effective guerrilla tactics and their ability to inflict heavy casualties on the better-equipped Sri Lankan military. Over the years, the conflict saw numerous brutal attacks and high-profile assassinations, including the killings of Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1991 and Sri Lankan President Ranasinghe Premadasa in 1993, both orchestrated by the LTTE, the turning point. The conflict dragged on for decades, with intermittent ceasefires and failed peace talks. By 2006, the Sri Lankan government, weary from years of conflict, decided to launch a final offensive to end the civil war. President Mahinda Rajapaksa and his brother, Defense Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, spearheaded this aggressive campaign. The government amassed a formidable force, meticulously planning a series of coordinated assaults aimed at cutting off LTTE's supply lines and isolating their strongholds. The Siege of Kilinochchi. Kilinochchi, the administrative capital of the LTTE, was the symbol of their power. The government forces advanced methodically, capturing strategic points and towns, tightening the noose around Kilinochchi. In December 2008, the Sri Lankan army launched a decisive assault. The Tigers fought ferociously, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. By January 2009, Kilinochchi fell, dealing a devastating blow to the LTTE. The loss of Kilinochchi not only marked the fall of the Tigers' administrative hub, but also shattered their morale. The no-fire zones. As the Tigers retreated to their final bastion in the northeastern coast, they forced tens of thousands of civilians to accompany them, using them as human shields. The Sri Lankan government declared no-fire zones, promising safe passage for civilians. However, these zones soon became death traps as intense fighting continued. Civilians were caught in the crossfire, with both sides accusing each other of atrocities. The international community watched in horror as reports of civilian casualties mounted. The last stand. By May 2009, the LTTE was cornered in a tiny strip of land along the Nanthikadal Lagoon. Prabhakaran and his top commanders were trapped with nowhere left to run. The government forces launched their final assault. However, political will for such actions remained elusive. as many former military leaders held significant power within the government. The political landscape. The end of the war brought significant changes to Sri Lanka's political landscape. President Rajapaksa, hailed by many as the hero who ended the war, consolidated his power. However, his administration was also criticized for its authoritarian tendencies and its failure to address the grievances of the Tamil minority. In 2015, Rajapaksa was defeated in a surprising electoral upset, raising hopes for reconciliation and reform. His successor, Maithripala Sirisena, promised to address human rights issues and promote national unity. However, progress was slow and met with resistance from various factions. Rebuilding and reconciliation. Rebuilding war-torn areas and fostering reconciliation between the Tamil and Sinhalese communities became a daunting task. The government launched various development projects in the north and east, aiming to improve infrastructure and economic opportunities. However, the deep-seated mistrust and trauma from years of conflict hindered efforts to heal the societal wounds. Various non-governmental organizations and community leaders played crucial roles in promoting dialogue and understanding between the divided communities. The role of the diaspora. The Tamil diaspora, spread across countries like Canada, the UK and Australia, played a significant role in advocating for the rights of Tamils in Sri Lanka. They lobbied their host governments and international bodies, calling for accountability and justice. The diaspora also contributed to the rebuilding efforts, providing financial support and expertise to aid the development of war-affected areas. Their continued involvement highlighted the global dimension of the conflict and the ongoing struggle for justice and recognition. The legacy of the war. The legacy of the Tamil Tigers and the Sri Lankan Civil War remains a contentious and sensitive issue. For many Tamils, the LTTE represented a struggle for self-determination and resistance against oppression. For others, the LTTE's tactics, including suicide bombings and child soldier recruitment, overshadowed their cause. The Sri Lankan government, on the other hand, portrayed the war as a necessary fight against terrorism, framing their victory as a triumph for national unity and security. The global perspective. The fall of the Tamil Tigers also had significant implications for global counterinsurgency strategies. Military analysts studied the Sri Lankan approach, noting the combination of military force and strategic denial of resources to the insurgents. However, the heavy civilian toll and allegations of human rights abuses also served as warnings about the costs and consequences of such strategies. The conflict underscored the importance of addressing root causes of insurgency, such as ethnic discrimination and political disenfranchisement. Conclusion. The story of the Tamil Tigers' fall is a sobering reminder of the high cost of war. It is a tale of a once powerful insurgency brought down by relentless military strategy and the horrors of modern warfare. The jungles of northern Sri Lanka, once echoing with the sounds of battle, now stand silent, bearing witness to a conflict that forever changed the nation. The fall of the Tamil Tigers is not just a story of military victory, but a poignant reflection on the price of peace and the enduring scars of conflict. In the end, the fall of the Tamil Tigers serves as a testament to the complexity of civil wars, where clear-cut victories are rare and the lines between heroism and atrocity blur. It reminds us that the path to lasting peace requires more than military might. It demands justice, reconciliation, and an unwavering commitment to human rights.